Raflowitz on the left. One of the times that we did come to Orlando here before Charles Guinea did begin to work for us at StarCityGames.com, Charles Guinea did win an open. I believe it was with Delver, and Taylor Raflowitz was the person he defeated in the finals. A youngster, pretty good Magic player. A lot of people in this area do know him. He has experienced some success, and he is playing the Aristocrats, Tom Martell's Pro Tour winning deck. Not many changes here to it, and he is against Zachary Kirby playing Esper Control.
Yeah, the Esper Control list looks pretty stock. It looks very much like from the Pro Tour list as well. We have Restoration Augur Snapcaster in the main, along with one Angel Serenity out of that sideboard. In this matchup, I think we're going to see Ghost Councils from both sides. We have a little bit of counter magic, even a Dispel to stop the trickiness. And there's the Blind Obedience. Now, I really like the Blind Obedience in the matchup because Falconwrath Aristocrat hits really hard and is a tough card to deal with, along with Obzidot. Obzidot then just turns into a poor Sulfuric Vortex.
And now we are going to see Taylor add to the board here. You're going to see multiple Knight of Infamies here, 2 Exalted triggers, so he's going to be coming across for 4. You'll see a Doom Traveler post-combat, a card that is very subtle, something that we've talked about with other cards this weekend, but it does get the job done, and it's a card that you saw Team SCG have a lot of success with at that Pro Tour.
That is true. We're going to see Catacombs come down and a Supreme Verdict. That's going to take care of 2 Protection Right creatures, Giggle. I love when that happens.
Yeah, as do I.
And we see Doom Traveler die as expected and bring back its spirit. Now here is a Sorin. Now Sorin is very good against an Esper Control deck. He's going to make a Vampire with Lifelink. That should come into play tap, but it's not going to be relevant.
Yep. We will get that corrected for you guys in just a moment.
And even though you have the ability to put 1/1s into play every turn, the Tick Down Sorin emblem is very scary against a deck like Esper Control. And now the Spirit untapped too. Okay, there we go. Board is correct.
And now we are all kosher. So you guys do see Sorin, Lord of Innistrad, on the screen. Again, another card that we talked about, and we talked about this over the course of the weekend. High power level cards being printed in Magic right now that, you're a little bit surprised when we first saw this card. You go, wow, I can't believe they would make this card. This card's insane. They just printed Lingering Souls too. Intangible Virtue. What are they doing? And we have seen Sorin be a little bit underwhelming.
Oh, of course, especially when going into Pro Tour Barcelona, Sorin and Lingering Souls were going to have a fun time together, but they did end up banning Sorin. They did end up banning Intangible Virtue. We did not see any Sorins that entire tournament.
So we do see some more tokens being made here. Taylor pushing his advantage every turn with Sorin Innistrad, making a 1/1 Black Vampire with Lifelink. Again, he can't threaten that emblem at any point, but we are going to see Azorius Charm get cycled here. Plus, you'll see an Extort from the Blind Obedience. So Zachary in a bit of a pickle here, because one of the things that the Esper Control deck doesn't really handle well, and it does handle a lot of things well, is it has a tough time against Planeswalkers. That's why you saw Ben Stark of Team Channel Fireball play a card like Planet Cleansing in his list. And do we have any over here?
Zachary does have 2 somewhere in that 75. I'm assuming they're in the main deck against a tough matchup like the Aristocrats.
So we are going to see Taylor untap those lands. He's going to keep, maybe he's going to take it up, he's going to take it down. There is your Sorin emblem. Our spotter's at the ready for you. +1/+0 to those creatures that are in play. And we'll see if he's going to smash with all of them, and he will. So we see an attack here for 6, and Taylor's going to be able to gain 4 life, push himself up to 25.
Yeah, not something that a deck like Esper Controls really care about. Like, once the engine is online, we just mill out our opponents anyway. But here is a Cartel Aristocrat, one of the cards that I loved right when this format was new because I was playing it in Human Reanimator. And then everyone else made a better version of Human Reanimator.
A better version was made, unfortunately, with that combo of Undercity Informer plus Burning Emissary to be able to mill your opponent out right away once you do bring that Angel of Glorious Rise back. But that's a deck that has become rather obsolete over the past couple of weeks because Junk Reanimator just looks to be a better form of that deck.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, even in the heads up, though, I think the Human Reanimator has the edge. But when you go back to all the decks having hate, it's really hard to fight the hate with the Human combo Reanimator deck.
So we do see Taylor again. He's just kind of pacing the game here. He's slowly putting threats out into play, forcing Zachary to be able to, cast Supreme Verdicts and stuff like that to be able to kind of break up what he's doing. We see Zachary having some trouble finding those cards. You see the Aristocrats able to pace the game in such a way that it doesn't have to extend itself very much.
Well, you could argue that, but one of the more powerful things is he has a Boros Charm in his hand. He has the answer to a Supreme Verdict and a Planar Cleansing. Planar Cleansing would take care of that Sorin, leaving only 2 Sorin emblems on the side of the Aristocrats, but Boros Charm stops all of that.
And now we are going to see Devour Flesh here from Zachary, looking to make Taylor sacrifice a creature, plus the Blind Obedience Extort trigger. So that will occur. Zachary will move himself up just a little bit more.
And I think he actually just has 2 Boros Charms in hand with only 1 white source, though, because of the Cavernous Souls. But I think he's just going to... I mean, if I was Taylor, I wouldn't show it to him, but yeah, he just is like, yeah, I got the charm.
Yeah, and you see Zachary does just concede there, as he was not able to do very much that game. Soren really dominating that game, and you see that's a card that has obviously not played very much, just like the Aristocrats, a deck that doesn't see a lot of play, but when playing against an Esper control deck, Planeswalkers are definitely a huge step to victory. We've seen Garrett Primal Hunter destroy those decks before, and we don't see Soren do it as often, but when we do see Soren resolve against Esper control, it normally does do what we just saw.